If you want soil that thrives naturally, subscribe to Botanical Bliss now. This channel uncovers gardening practices that have lasted centuries because they actually work, and today's topic challenges a common misconception. Leaf mold. Most gardeners think of it as a weak, slow-acting compost substitute, but in reality, leaf mold is one of the most powerful soil enhancers available, if you understand how to make it and use it properly. Why leaf mold is misunderstood in modern gardening. Gardeners often dismiss leaf mold because it does not look like traditional compost. It does not heat up. It does not decompose quickly. When people pile leaves and wait a few months, they expect dark, earthy compost, but what they get is fibrous, sponge-like material. This has led to the misconception that leaf mold is weak or decorative rather than functional. Historical agriculture tells a different story. Farmers and gardeners across Europe, Asia and North America recognized leaf litter as a critical soil resource. It was a living amendment, nourishing soil biology and improving structure year after year. The difference between leaf mold and ordinary compost is in its biology, not its nutrient content. Leaf mold is dominated by fungi rather than bacteria. These fungi specialize in breaking down tough cellulose and lignin, creating a soil environment that enhances moisture retention, aeration, and microbial diversity. When applied correctly, leaf mold does more for long-term soil health than most standard compost piles. So, let's talk about how to make leaf mold that actually supercharges your soil. The process is simple, but, well, it does require a bit of patience. First, collect deciduous leaves, ideally from hardwood trees, and pile them loosely in a shaded corner or, in a wire bin. It's important not to compact the leaves. Air circulation is absolutely essential. If the pile is dry, just water lightly, but don't go overboard, and soak it. Unlike compost, leaf mold doesn't require frequent turning, which is quite handy. Fungi need stable conditions to establish their networks throughout the material. Over several months, the leaves slowly break down into a dark, crumbly material that still retains its shape, almost like spongy soil, really. Time is, absolutely critical here. Leaf mold typically takes anywhere from 12 to 24 months to reach full maturity. Now, while that may seem a bit slow, the result is a material that transforms soil structure in ways that regular compost simply cannot. The fibrous texture of leaf mold increases water retention dramatically, all while allowing roots to penetrate more easily. Soil that was once compacted or, prone to crusting becomes friable and really easy to work. Most fertilizers and compost amendments tend to focus on nutrients, but leaf mold's real strength lies in physical and biological improvement. Its fungal-dominated composition builds soil aggregates, improves aeration, and, importantly, prevents erosion. Water is held efficiently and released gradually, reducing stress on plants during drought. Microbial diversity increases, creating a resilient ecosystem that supports nutrient cycling, pest resistance, and disease suppression. Applied to container gardens or raised beds, leaf mould retains moisture without suffocating roots. In larger garden plots, it prevents crusting and encourages deep rooting. These effects are subtle but accumulate over seasons, producing healthier, more resilient plants. So, here's how to apply leaf mould for maximum benefit. Leaf mould is most effective, when it's incorporated gently into the soil surface. It can be mixed into the top few inches of your garden beds before planting, or simply used as a mulch around established plants. For long-term improvement, just top dress with a layer several inches thick and let those microbial communities infiltrate naturally. Unlike compost, leaf mould doesn't need constant mixing. Fungi will expand through contact with soil and plant roots. For container gardens, leaf mould can be blended with potting soil at roughly a 1:3 ratio. The result is lighter, more aerated soil that retains moisture while supporting microbial life. Seeds germinate more evenly, roots penetrate without restriction, and plants establish faster. Why patience with leaf mould pays off. Leaf mould is not immediate. It requires months to a year or more to fully develop, but, the benefits really compound over time. Soil that incorporates leaf mould year after year gradually improves in fertility, structure and resilience. Historical gardeners understood this intuitively. They returned leaf litter to fields and gardens seasonally, building soil slowly and sustainably. Modern shortcuts often fail to replicate these long-term effects because they ignore fungal networks, physical structure, and continuous soil biology. So, what makes leaf mould a supercharger rather than just a soil amendment, you might wonder? Unlike typical compost, which adds nutrients in bursts, leaf mould actually improves the soil itself. It's a bit of a game changer, really. It transforms compacted, lifeless ground into a thriving ecosystem capable of supporting sustained plant growth. Water retention increases, microbial diversity rises, root systems develop more fully, and nutrient cycling becomes far more efficient. Plants grown in soil enriched with mature leaf mould display healthier foliage, stronger stems, and, greater resistance to environmental stress. The lesson for gardeners is clear: leaf mould is not a weak alternative to compost. It's actually a fundamentally different tool that addresses soil health at, a structural and biological level. Integrating leaf mould into gardens, raised beds and containers provides benefits that persist year after year, far beyond the immediate boost of fertilizer. If this guide changed the way you think about soil and long-term fertility, do consider subscribing to Botanical Bliss and share this with anyone looking to build resilient, high-performing soil.